Welcome to VLearn Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 8 of Social Problems in India and the topic is unemployment. Topics to be covered in this session are unemployment, socio-economic context and dimensions, types of unemployment, educated unemployed, government policies on unemployment, right to work and its implications. Now come to the first topic, that is unemployment in social economic context and its dimensions. The problem of finding unemployment for all able-bodied persons willing to work in common to all countries, developed as well as developing. Every country wants to provide employment to all its citizens. However, this is not always possible. Even developed countries like England and the USA face problems of unemployment. There are a large number of people who want to work but are unable to get jobs. In developing countries, the problem is more serious because the number of unemployed are usually very large. Hence, it may not be possible for the state to provide employment for these people in a short period of time. Moreover, a developing nation being poorer than the developed countries and may not be in a position to give employment to a large number of people within the given economic infrastructure. Now, unemployment in social economic context. In India, unemployment is a major problem. There are already a large number of unemployed people in the country, and at the same time, because of high rate of population growth, there are more and more people seeking employment. It is basically means work, and if more people work, there will be greater production of goods and services in society. Similarly, in a society where there are a large section of people ready to work but only few people get the opportunity to work, there will be less production. Greater productivity of goods and services ensures that these are available to a large number of people. Hence, more and more people are able to improve their style of living. Employment, therefore, should not be viewed merely as a means of livelihood for people. It also means that if more people are employed in a country, the more prosperous it is because it is able to produce more and provide more goods and services to the people as a whole. Unemployment has several dimensions. The most evident is that a person who does not have work has no income and he is unable to support himself or herself and his or her family. For a person, employment means that he is unable to meet his basic needs and he has to depend on others for these. Problems of identifying unemployment. For many of us, the notion of unemployment is one of those who do not have a job or are paid no salary. This is partly correct but not wholly. Such a notion would apply largely to the educated people who are not able to find work or to those in urban areas who come to seek employment. There are vast number of people in rural and urban area who do not get wages for the work day too. These are farmers, artisans, petty shop owners, small and big industrialists, taxi drivers, mechanics, etc. These people are also regarded as being employed. The next problem is to identifying the unemployed. This is not an easy task. Normally in our country, we regard those people who are between the ages 15 and 58 as being economically active. In other words, these people have the potential of being gainfully employed. Therefore, those who are not gainfully employed in this age group are unemployed. There could be large number of people in this age group who do not wish to seek employment, and they could be students or people who can depend on other people's earnings and they do not wish to be employed. Estimating unemployment. Assessing the extent of unemployment is a very important but difficult task. The government needs this information so that it can formulate the plans to ensure that maximum people find some employment, and it is also necessary to assess where employment is needed. Now, types of unemployment. We have seen so far that though employment is a serious problem, it is not always easy to identify. The figure on unemployment quoted in the previous section show which is actually known as visible unemployment. There are other types of unemployment which are not very visible. A person can be employed but he may actually unemployed. First is seasonal unemployment. Normally, when we talk of employed people, we mean those who have work throughout the year, but this may not possible for all. In agriculture, work is seasonal even though agricultural activities are performed throughout the year. During the peak agriculture season, when the crop is ready for harvesting, more people are required for work. Similarly, in the sowing, weeding, and transplantation period, more labor is required. Employment therefore increase at this time. In fact, we will find that there is hardly any unemployment in rural areas during these peak agriculture seasons. However, once these seasons are over, the agriculture workers, especially those who do not own land or whose land is not sufficient to meet their basic requirement, remain unemployed. This type of unemployment is known as seasonal unemployment. This means that the person who gets seasonal unemployment are unemployed for the rest of the year, and if these workers move away from the villages in search of unemployment elsewhere, then there will not be sufficient people to work during the season, and this will lower productivity. It is necessary to find work during season, and this will lower productivity. Seasonal unemployment is most common in agriculture, but it can be found in industries as well. Disguised unemployment. There are also instances where we find too many people working when so many are not required. In agriculture, we may find that all members of the family work. It is possible that 3 or 4 people can do a given work in the farm, but we find that the whole family of say 10 people doing the job. This may be because the excess people are not able to find employment elsewhere, so rather than remain unemployed, they prefer to do the work along with others. This is known as disguised unemployment. This occurs when more than necessary number of people are employed for specified work. Disguised unemployment is found in agriculture due of the lack of employment opportunities elsewhere. Educated unemployed. The problem of educated unemployed is serious in our country. There are a large number of young educated people who are unable to find employment, or even if some of them do not, are engaged in work which required less qualifications. This means that these people accept work which does not give them the income which person with similar qualification get elsewhere. Extent of unemployment. There has been enormous increase in the rate of unemployment among the educated in India. The number of graduate unemployment increased from 9 lakh in 1965 to 5.6 million in 1977, with an annual growth rate of 21%. During 1980 to 88, there has been an annual growth rate of 23% of the graduate unemployed. The number is much larger for matriculate, higher secondary and undergraduates. Growth in education is linked with economic development. As a country develops, it requires large number of educated people to meet its requirement for running the administration, for work in industry at different levels. Graduates are required for work in offices for these various organizations. Moreover, the teaching profession expands as there is a greater number of schools and colleges. Education therefore contributes to production as it supplies the requisite manpower. Problems arise mainly because of the slowing down of economic growth that results in surplus supply of the trained educated manpower. This results in a situation where there is educational development but there is no growth in the economy. This results in unemployment among the educated. Consequences of educated unemployment. People with superior qualification are doing jobs which could be done by less qualified people. It results in underutilization of one's capacity. This is because people with lesser qualification are unable to find jobs, so they go for higher education with the hope that they will be in a better position to qualify for the same jobs. Apart from this, the educated employed become more frustrated than the uneducated employed because their aspirations are higher. An uneducated unemployed person may be willing to do any type of manual work, but a graduate would not be willing to do this even if such work is freely available. Doing a job which is not suitable for one's qualification is not only frustrating but is also a wastage of national resources. Existence of large number of unemployed in any country can challenge the stability of the government. The vast majority of them search for legitimate work. If they do not get work, they become frustrated. Their families too are unhappy. This means that the dissatisfaction of not having work is not confined to only the unemployed but to many more people. The increase in educated unemployed is therefore a threat of the harmonious work of the economic system and to the political system. This social impact of educated unemployed result in deviant behavior. As mentioned earlier, educated people have higher ambitions for work, and rightly so. If these are not fulfilled, they may take to drugs, crime, etc. The drug problem among the youth in our country is largely due to the bleak employment prospectus. The unemployed youth are frustrated and they take recourse to drugs or alcohol to overcome their frustrations. The frustrations of unemployed youth can also lead to terrorism. The highly educated unemployed have anger against society for their state of affairs. They feel that if this system cannot meet their aspirations for getting proper jobs, it should be destroyed. Terrorism in Assam and in many other parts of the country is largely a result of the large number of educated unemployed youth in these states, among other factors. Government policies on unemployment. There are a number of programs for counteracting unemployment. It is neither possible nor realistic to have only one scheme because, as we have seen, there are different types of unemployment. Schemes for educated unemployed. There are mainly two approaches to help educated unemployed. Some states such as West Bengal, Kerala, etc. provide stipends for unemployed for a limited period. In almost cases, the minimum qualification is matriculations and the amount varies from Rs 100 to 200 per month for 3 years. It is expected that persons availing of this scheme will be able to find employment within this period. The other scheme aims at promoting self-employment among unemployed graduates. This is known as the Graduate Employment Program. Here, the government provides loans to graduates to start small industries or business with the help of the District Industries Center. Preference is given to groups of graduates who come together with a variable scheme. One can find a large number of them in the transport sector. Scheme in rural areas. There are large number of people in the rural areas who do not have a high level of education and who are unemployed. There are two main schemes for tackling this problem. These are National Rural Employment Program and the Jawahar Rozgar Yojana. Under these schemes, the government creates public work programs such as road building, construction, land reclamation, irrigation work, etc., which provide employment to the rural poor. The advantage of such schemes are that firstly, they are located in or near the villages of the unemployed so that they do not have to migrate out of their villages to seek work. Secondly, they help overcome the problem of disguised unemployment and seasonal unemployment. Schemes for women. These schemes attempt to provide self-employment to women through home-based work. The Khadi and Village Industries Corporation provide various schemes for this purpose. These include spinning and weaving, making papads, agarbattis and other consumer products. The raw material is supplied to the women and they make the final products in their homes. The KVIC pays them their labor cost and markets the products. These schemes have help increase the family income of the rural poor. Right to work and its implications. The growing rate of unemployment in our country is a serious problem which has the focus of government policy. In order to ensure that government takes this up seriously, it has been argued that the right to work should be included as a fundamental right to work for its citizens. The directive principles of the Indian Constitution, however, are the guidelines on which government policies should be formulated, and they do not have legal backing for implementation. Hence, if the right to work is made a fundamental right, then every government will be forced to take measures which ensure that people get work. In other words, the right to work is like an employment guarantee scheme. In order to achieve the right to work, it will be necessary to go in for large-scale rural employment. This would essentially mean that our investments have to be directed to these sectors, and it would mean ensuring that artisans, craftsmen and the small farmers get enough inputs in the form of credit and raw materials so that they do not have to leave their work in the villages and join the unskilled unemployment in cities. This will help reduce urban unemployment. In order to achieve this goal, the infrastructure in the rural areas has to be improved and there has to be irrigation facilities so that there is water for land cultivation. The communication network has to be built up, roads have to be constructed and transport improved so that the farmers are and the artisans can get a wider market for their product. Other facilities have to be improved as well. People can work hard and produce more only if they are healthy. Therefore, health facilities are proper nutrition has to be ensured. Now, there are some questions on the basis of this session. First is, why is higher level of employment necessary for the country? Second is, explain how growth in education is necessary for economic development. That's it for this session. Thank you. Happy learning, we learning.